lines.
Welcome back to Fault Lines on Radio Sputnik. My name is Jamarl Thomas. I'm joined by my co-host Shane Stranahan, coming to you live out of our station in Washington, D.C. If you guys live in the area, you can catch us on radio at 105.5 FM and 1390 AM. We're also in Kansas City at 102.9 FM and 104.7 FM. If you guys are digging what Shane and I are putting down, whatever platform you're consuming this content on, give us a like and share that audio or video. If you guys want to join in on the conversation, you can do so with a chat, a tweet, and of course, you can reach us by phone at 202-521-1320. That is 202-521-1320. Your engagement helps makes this show what it is, so definitely don't be shy. I was debating on what to do this topic on today, and I realized I hadn't really talked about this very specific point. I was debating between yelling at AOC and Ilhan Omar for a horrible answer that they gave that was self-evident, but I didn't necessarily need them to tell me and to remind me of the degree to which they failed, didn't even fight. But no, I think this one is actually more important. I want to go back to how utterly useless the White House press corps has been with this president. Yes, I'm going back to that because there's something that should have been asked, something extremely important, earth-shattering important, cosmic importance. As we peer at the edge of the cosmos, there's certain things that we need to know and that Congress has taken a specific interest in. Finally, the UFO task force. How do you have a task force on UFOs that was put into for Congress, demanded that such a thing be made? It's going through all of the agencies and everything else to pull that information out. You have the New York Times running massive bombshell stories on it, Washington Post, Politico, all of these media outlets. You have Luis Elizondo, the guy that was running the Black Budget Project, talking, giving statements. You have fighter pilots who were in the air on the Nimitz and Tic Tac and Roosevelt, giving statements to the press and telling the press what they saw, how long they saw it, what it was doing, how weird it was. You have Marco Rubio telling anybody that want to know, I hope it is not us. And he's saying that because whatever the technology is, and that is the way he describes it, however he tries to be above it all, it is well beyond our capability and doesn't look like anything we have seen. Same thing is true for D&I, Ratcliffe, who blew minds when he says, yes, we have a ton of information on this stuff. How do you not ask Joe Biden? And more importantly, they're trying to bury the project. Now, Shane, we broke this news. I look back on 2/11. Politico is just now getting around to it on 3/25. They're trying to stiff arm the project. First, just to make my point, let's play this first clip with Elizondo. These are Commander David Fravor for the Nimitz, Lieutenant Ryan Graves from the USS Roosevelt, and Luis Elizondo, the one that was running the Black Budget Project. Listen to what these guys are saying. Let's play the clip.
But there are people inside the United States government that are taking this serious, and I've been down to DC twice to talk to folks, behind closed doors to go because they want to hear the story, and I've got a lot of you got to be joking. I mean, this seriously happened, and I'm like, yeah, it did happen, and it is real. What are you doing about it?
So what kind of people are you talking to?
High level government officials is what I'll say.
I hope that I'm helping them, helping give them a voice. And when I went to DC and met with 2 of the 3 branches of our government, my perception was that they took it pretty seriously, and they were asking some hard questions to the peers in the Navy that were sitting across from me. And I think that is why we see that reporting system that was put in place by the Navy today.
Yeah, what is the reporting system now that exists?
I don't know. It's classified. The reporting system is classified, but I do know it exists, and I do know from other encounters, or whatever we want to call them, that have happened recently from some of my friends that it seems to be working at the very least.
What makes this material so special? Now, in some cases, this material was told it's special through analysis. Guess what? Not so special. But some of it is absolutely special. I won't point out which ones on that slide, but there are some that are absolutely special and have been briefed to some very, very senior levels of this government. And they do remarkable and extraordinary things, and they're built in such a way that to this day we still can't replicate it.
Built in such a way that to this day we can't replicate. Think about that. Who built it? What do you mean built? If you're talking about built, you're talking about technology. If we didn't do it, who did? That's the guy that's running the Black Budget Project for the U.S. government. If anybody knew, he would know. And he's made the point that Congress has been getting these eye-popping briefings. Why do you think they feel so confident and comfortable coming out and saying, yes, I saw all of this stuff. Yes, there's a there to it. Yes, I talked to those pilots. And more interestingly enough, what if that report that comes out, Congress says we're not alone? I keep asking that question because that question is profound. How does media not ask the president that? Think about the implications of what I'm saying for the moment. How does the media not ask him that? Think of the ridiculous questions that they asked him at that press conference. This would have been far superior than 90% of the questions that they asked, with larger implications than 90% of the questions that they ask. They are stiff-arming these guys from doing that. Let's play Bob Bigelow. Let's play this clip. This was back 2011, if I'm not mistaken. I think it might have been before. Mystery Wire broke this. George Knapp. We were one of the first ones, if I'm not mistaken, that came out besides George Knapp with this particular information that basically they were stiff-arming it. They were trying to put the genie back in the bottle. They're trying to gut the report, undermine it. So when the report comes out, it didn't have the resources necessary to do what it needed to do. Let's play the clip.
With the Tic Tac off the coast of San Diego, the event in 2004, we just serendipitously happened to hire on our team in 2008 one of the pilots of the group that saw the Tic Tac underwater, the churning of all the water and underwater, and then as it came out of the water, and so we got a firsthand briefing on something that we probably shouldn't have had, because it should have been totally classified, but it wasn't. It wasn't even acknowledged, you know. In fact,
it was ignored, right?
It was ignored. It was completely ignored, and the FLIR videos were put in drawers in places that subsequently a friend of yours and mine, who up until just very recently ran the whole program for the United States, right, of things off the East Coast and West Coast and so forth, and he just ran it, and so he is the best qualified person to run this program the United States has, and he now no longer runs it, and they've got somebody that's a couple of ranks lower than him to run the program. And my personal opinion is there's an effort that's going to try to eliminate this or put this back in a back drawer compartment now, because they've changed the rank as to who's in charge.
Changed the rank, took the guy who's most knowledgeable out of it, giving them an impossible task to write the master report in 6 months with no budget.
Right.
And the guy who's in charge of it, by the way, is doing it on his own time, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
They're basically trying to undermine it. Some of the people that are in Congress, or for that matter in the military, are very religious, and they're very freaked out by this particular issue, thinking at one point Bigelow said they were trying to open the gates of hell, or Knapp said it. But I guess I'm making the point that these guys are being stiff-armed. I ran that. I think it was 211. This is Politico 325. Some military and spy agencies are blocking or even simply ignoring the effort to catalog what they have on unidentified aerial phenomena, according to multiple current and former government officials. As a result, the Biden administration will likely delay. Now, Marco Rubio said, yeah, they will be delaying, more likely than not. The Senate Intelligence Committee has asked the Director of National Intelligence to work with the Defense Department to provide a public accounting by June 25th on unexplained sightings of advanced aircraft and drones that have been reported by military personnel and captured by radar, satellite, and other surveillance systems. But those advising the investigations are advocating for slightly more time and resources to retrieve information from agencies that in some cases have shown reluctance, if not outright resistance, to sharing classified information. And they worry that without high-level involvement, it will be difficult to compel agencies to release what they have. And this is Christopher Mellon. He said just getting access to the information because of the different security bureaucracies that are involved in itself. And think about what Bob Bigelow just said. Bob Bigelow was the one that ran the larger aspect of the Black Budget Project that the government was running. He said they cut the rank of the person who's running it. And because they cut the rank, he doesn't have the ability to get his hands on the files that are necessary. Hence, these guys can basically stiff arm. Mellon, I know that the task force has been denied access to pertinent information by the Air Force, and they have been stiff-armed by them. And now the Air Force, in response, or the Pentagon spokesperson, to protect our people, maintain operational security, and safeguard intelligence methods, we do not publicly discuss details of the UAP observations, the task force, or the investigations. What's interesting is that many of the reports are in the black, and even stuff that started out not in the black ended up in the black, like the USS Kidd and the USS Raphael in that story that I told the other day. I guess I'm making the point that how is this not one of the most important matters ever facing the planet? And for Congress to be taking this seriously, and for Congress to literally, potentially, at least based on what these guys have been talking about when they're talking to the camera, may come out and say, we are not alone. We didn't build it. We don't believe the Russians and the Chinese got it. We don't believe it's some black budget project that we don't have access to. It's not us. What happens on that day? And how does the media not care about that? Shane, how does the media not care about that?